What's going on, guys? So first of all, I'm sick and all of my memory cards are filled up, so I'm recording on my cell phone today. Thankfully, I just got a brand new phone. This is a Galaxy S10, and this thing actually has a really good camera, so it's not that bad. But yeah, so today is the only day I can work on my car this week, to Saturday. I'm gonna be in Virginia the entire week for my job for these next few weeks, actually. So Saturdays are gonna be my only day here to work on my car. So today I'm gonna try to get a bunch of stuff done. My buddy's coming over to help me. Today I'm gonna try to get these cat cams cleaned off and installed. Get the rest of the timing on the head installed. So actually I also need to get this sprocket onto the new cam. Then I'm gonna have to get the the camshaft adjuster onto the new cam as well. Okay, so as I was saying, the first thing up is to just clean these off, and I also need to sand down one of these lobes because it has a groove in it. Let's see which one it was. I think it's that one right there. You can hear my fingernail grabbing on it. So yeah, that one's silent. See right there, you can see a big fat groove on it. See right there in the middle, like that. Oh, that's really not that bad. I was told to use just some like Scotch-Brite. Then I'll just have to make sure to clean all this off really well so that no Scotch-Brite material is still on there, because this stuff will eat up your engine. This one looks pretty dirty, so I'm just gonna probably Scotch-Brite this one as well, and then brake cleaner, and then spray it off with air. I got both cams all cleaned up. They each had a lot of little nicks on them. I had to file some of them down, and a lot of them had to get sanded with some green Scotch-Brite. But yeah, some of them had to get filed down. They had some big nicks on them. But yeah, they look really good now. I blew them off with compressed air. So now I have to pull this camshaft timing gear off of this stock cam to put it on the new one. And then I have a new camshaft seal, so I don't need that one anymore. So I'm having some trouble getting this sprocket off of the exhaust cam. So I don't know if I need to pull up on that or if that'll just come out on its own. I might try to get this out with a gear puller. Okay, here we go. So I have a gear puller right there. I put a little washer on the end of the gear puller so that I minimize damage on the crank. And then the two arms are going right on the back of the pulley. I mean, I could have put something in between the arms and the teeth just so I make sure they're not damaged, but I'm just gonna go for it. They should be fine. And I have the whole camshaft in this vise right here. It's not on there super tight, so hopefully this holds it. We will see. Let's see if this does the trick. I haven't seen the pulley move at all yet, so this is a little bit scary. Holy sh! That was scary, man. I thought for sure something broke. I saw that washer fly, and I thought that that washer was something that like broke right off. That was pretty intense. I'm not understanding where that little, oh, it's on the cam. So this little guy I thought would have came off. Okay, that's good that I got that out. Let's loosen this. Grab the camshaft, bring it over here, and compare it to the cat cam. The stock cam is more rounded and doesn't come quite as far off of the shaft. The lobes, I'm talking about the lobes. The lobes are a little bit more rounded, not quite as tall, versus these are a little bit less rounded up at the top, but they're a little bit taller. So this one, you can see it's a little bit like fatter, it's a little bit wider. This one's a little bit skinnier width-wise, but it's a little bit taller. And I assume you need like a mallet to get that on. Might have to install the cam first, I'm not sure. Before I try to put this onto the new camshaft, I do need to grab my new cam seal because that goes on first. And once I have that sprocket on, I'm not gonna be able to get this over all of these lobes. So I definitely gotta remember to do that first. And it goes this way with that piece, that side facing out, and that hollow side facing in. I think could be anywhere. I have so much stuff in these boxes, and I have no idea what any of it is. I think I got lucky. This is it already. This looks like it. And looks like there's a little instruction thing in with it. No idea what any of this means. 4 hours. You gotta wait 4 hours to start your engine. Okay, so I have both of these camshafts all sanded down. Everything looks really nice now. There's one of those big deep grooves. It no longer grabs with my fingernail. You can still see it, but I mean, it feels nice and smooth now. There are a lot of big spots that needed to be filed down, but I got all of those worked out. Everything feels pretty smooth now. There was one of the big ones right there. That one feels good. And I got an air compressor to spray these off completely, so there's no more of that green Scotch-Brite on there anymore. Okay, let's get some oil. Okay, I got a bunch of oil on there now, and just to make that slide on the cam a little bit easier, I'm just gonna put some oil on here as well, and then that little groove. Let's get that guy on there. Try to push that on there as straight as I can. Here we go. Honestly, maybe I should do this once the cam's already installed in the head. I don't know. There we go. At least got it started in there. And that looks like it's in there properly. So that's just to keep that in place for now. And later on I'll actually put the new one on, the new bolt. So I'm coming over here to grab my just trying to get that cylinder one up at the top. Okay, after a lot of going back and forth on that crank, I'm finally happy with the bottom end where that is. So cylinders 1 and 4 are both at the very top. I should say the pistons. The pistons are at the very top of their cylinders, and 2 and 3 are all the way at the bottom. So it's basically going back and forth until I was happy with where those pistons are. So it's really hard to tell when they're perfectly at the top when the when the cylinder head's on already. Okay, so bottom end is looking good. So I'm pretty much ready now to get this tower off and start lubing up the head, and then I can get those cams in place. And my upper timing cover, I forgot. I'm gonna need to put that. I'm gonna have to slide that on the exhaust cam before I put the cam on the car, because won't be able to go on over top of that cam gear. Wait, this is the lower. Wait, yeah, this is the lower cover actually. So I'm looking for the upper timing cover. So I have one right here. It's the one that came with the new engine. And this is my original one, which is metal. So I don't know if I should use the metal or the plastic one. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so first I'm just gonna get some of this assembly lube all up on these spots for the cam. I wouldn't say that you can have too much of this stuff. I would say that you can have this in the wrong places. You don't really want this up along here where you want a good seal with the cam girdle over there. And you don't want it down into the spark plug holes or in your cylinders. But I mean, anywhere right here where the cam's gonna be riding, and right there on all of the rollers, you do want assembly lube, just so you don't have any raw metal to metal contact. For the most part, that's pretty decent right now. Okay, that's all lubed up. So now I'm ready to get this one in place. I just need to put this little cover over it. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it right there. So all I did just now was place the exhaust cam into position. Got the upper timing cover on behind it, and that's all looking like that'll line up nicely. The cam seal is sitting nicely where it should be. So I'm gonna go grab the intake cam. And my battery's getting low on my phone, so the flash isn't working anymore. Oh, this is on the wrong side. Obviously, I can't believe I just did that. So let's get that in there. So yeah, the cam seal, I believe, goes right there. So let's go grab that. Oil up the brand new one, stick it in there. So none of this is exposed to the outside, so there are no seals right here, because it's okay if oil comes out right over there into the cam cover. On the other side of this, on the head, is air. I mean, there's nothing. That's just not even part of the engine anymore. So that's why you need the cam seal there and the cam seal right there. Protect the oil from coming out of the engine. Here's my brand new camshaft seal for the intake cam. Here's the part number if you need it. Here's the new bolt. Comes with the washer. And we're putting the new bolt in right here for this cam timing gear. Not gonna torque it yet because I can't until I have some kind of counter hold on this. So that pin goes to that cutout. Just a little difficult getting this on for some reason. Kind of like doesn't even want to go on. No, I have no clue why this is not really wanting to go on. I think it's on now. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I don't know. It's not perfect, but again, that bolt is going to go straight in the middle, and that should tighten it down all the way if it's not already tightened down all the way. And I'm going to have to go grab my special tool to put that bolt in. So I found the special socket here. Looks like that. Looks like a slightly different Torx. It's not a Torx. Do not try to use a Torx. So I'm just going to get this hand tight for now. Once the timing belt's on, I'll be able to counter hold this with the crank bolt, because this is also a pretty high torque spec. Okay, so that's as high as I can go for now. Okay, so I have everything in place, just nothing's torqued, but I have all the new bolts already in place. I have the 2 seals in place, everything's lubed up. So now I just need to put the cam chain on and the tensioner, get all my timing set, and then I can put the cam tower on. Let's see if I can slide it over here. I'm gonna need to actually time that correctly. Once I have it timed correctly, I'll then put the tensioner in. Right there is where I want to be. Let's just grab this stock intake cam and let's just take a look at how this would go. So that is your top dead center, probably like right exactly like that. All right, so I'm just gonna try to get it in the ballpark. So for now, this first set of cam lobes are up and to the right, farther up than to the right. And then the second set is like kind of left a little bit up. That's still in its spot. But now it just rotated. Okay, I adjusted these. I'm just trying to get in the ballpark for now. So let's see where the exhaust cam is. So the exhaust cam is just off a little bit. Let's just bring that back to where it should be. It doesn't really want to stay there, so I might have to hold it. Actually, that whole back piece wasn't even where it should be. Okay, so approximately right there. I'm gonna have to just hold that in place. It's gonna move anyway. I'm gonna have to just accept that this is gonna move by like a tooth when I let go of it. A tooth and a half, 2 teeth, somewhere around there. So let's just see if this is within like a tooth or two. So it looks like it is, because as I was saying, this really should be over probably like that much. And that might be spot on. That might be spot on. Let's look at the stock one again. Right there, top dead center.